Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. This is Random Acts of Violence, so that means it's actually me driving the tanks for a change, which, yes, I know is not something that you've seen too often on this YouTube channel over the course of the last 2 months with the internet problems that I've been having. But things are a lot more stable now, and I've been able to play World of Tanks again. What you're going to see today is a selection of games that we played last night on Quickie Baby's live stream on his Twitch TV channel. It was a really good night. You know, the night had its ups and it had its downs, but there were more ups than downs, and even the bad games, there was at least something amusing in most of them, even if the result wasn't anything to be proud of. This is one of the earlier games that we played during the course of the evening before Ike joined us. Ike was late. Myself and Quickie Baby both in the M48 Patton, American Tier 10 medium tank, and a very, very good tank, and a tank that I really should be driving more often. Oh, incidentally, before we forget, 300,000 subscribers. Give yourselves a round of applause. 300,000 of you seem to get some kind of entertainment out of coming back every day and watching the videos I put up. So, you know, thank you very much for that. And to celebrate, in this video, we're giving away some Amazon gift vouchers. 10 people are going to win an Amazon gift voucher. Details on how to enter in the video description, also at the end of this video, and on my Facebook page. Don't worry, all I need is your email address and your name, and 10 winners will be picked at random. And this is just the first giveaway that I'm doing. There will be more over the course of the next week or so. And there's our first contact, a T62A, another Tier 10 medium tank. Quickie Baby's going around one side. I start going around the other side, but the T62A isn't having any of that. Turn the tank around, get moving, got to go over there and support Quickie Baby. Now there's some flanking fire coming in from the tanks behind us. That is going to be very, very important during the course of this game. T62A gets sent home for an early bath. Myself and Quickie Baby both move up behind the cover of this building. Now, most of the team have headed down to the southeastern end of the map. And I take a hit and lose my driver from the IS-8, and there's an Object 140. And believe me, that's not all. There's a T110E4. There's just me and Quickie Baby here. And that's not all. There's an ISU 152 as well. Oh, God. Now, what I'm trying to do here, and well, I get away with it there. I'm trying to back up so I can get this thing hull down and take shots at the IS-8 and the ISU. And some fantastic support and fire coming in from the guys on the ridge over to our left. But the ground here just isn't low enough, and the turret front of the M48 isn't really good enough for me to be able to put shots in on that IS-8 without taking too much return fire. Now, Quickie Baby and I have absolutely no intention of going around this building and attacking these guys. They have to come around and attack us. And the friendly tanks over to the left on the ridge and the high ground are preventing them from doing that. That T110E4 has been completely shut down by all of those tanks on the flank who are just stopping him from doing anything useful in this game. They've even managed to get some shots in through the gap in the building at the IS-8 and the Object 140. The ISU 152 has been taken care of. We've now got a Super Pershing moved up behind us. The guys on the ridge are starting to filter around. I finally kill the IS-8. The T110E4 and the Object 140 are the only ones that are left. Is it time to make a move? Well, I'd like that T110E4 dead before we do it. The Object 140 takes a big hit, again, from the guys on the ridge. Eyes on the T110E4, he's turned his gun around, he took a big hit there. Has he fired? Yep, I somehow managed to get away with that. He really should have hit me. But the T110E4's gone, but that's what the T110E4 gun is like. It just misses things, even at point blank range. And now the Object 140 has just run out of friends. The Super Pershing's moved up as well. And if the Super Pershing's here, it's definitely time to move. Quickie Baby bounces one. I take a hit, aim, squeeze the trigger, and the Object 261. Ah, great. We'd been very careful up until this point to make sure that the Object 261 on the enemy team couldn't get shots at us, but the Object 261 wasn't interested in us. He'd been amusing himself up until this point, taking large chunks of health off the mouse driver on our team, and as you can tell by chat, that's really, really upset him. And it's just typical that when he'd finally killed the mouse, it was just in time for us to break cover, sail right into his field of fire, and of course, who does he shoot at? Yeah, you guessed it. But I wasn't too pissed off about it. It was just that kind of evening. Well, anyway, robbed of his platoon mate by the evil artillery on the enemy team, Quickie Baby soldiers on, farms a bit more damage on the T-34, and then closes in for what he hopes to be the kill on the Jagdtiger. You know when you watch all those YouTube videos and it's full of those epic kill moments where the last tank on the enemy team and you go diving off a cliff, fire a shot in midair, blow them away, and then hit the ground and roll away laughing your ass off. Yeah, this is not one of those moments. This is just the kind of night that it was. It was hilarious. Quickie Baby's going to try and secure the kill on that Jagdtiger. He launches himself off the cliff. He fires a shot a fraction of a second too late. And now he's got nowhere to go but down. Yep, it's nice to know that Quickie Baby's is just as human as the rest of us. Well, after a couple of hours, Ike turned up and joined us, and he immediately jumped into a KV-5. So we thought, okay, right, if that's how it's going to be, no problem. Always up for a KV-5 platoon, and this was it. Well, actually, this was the second KV-5 game we had. The first one was a bit of a disaster. We did well, rest of the team not so much. This team was fantastic. They really, really were great. Looking at their stats, they don't look like a great team, but trust me, this was a great team. I've actually turned off XVM's win rate prediction because I just don't want to know anymore. I mean, I can make an educated guess just from looking at the various different win ratings and performance ratings of the players on both teams. I don't need XVM spitting out a number and telling me how to play the game. But I do leave the colour coding on because it's useful to know that if you're backed up in a corner and the only guy with you is a deep, deep red player, then you probably shouldn't really expect them to do much to help you and play accordingly. On the other hand, if the player backed up with you is green or better, then it just gives you more options and more flexibility in how you're going to handle the kind of situations you get into. And yet, at the same time, even deep red players can and will surprise you and perform contrary to your expectations. This was one of those games. This team was absolutely fantastic. Rock stars, each and every one of them. So, first contact, an IS-3, a Centurion, and that looks like a 110 at the back there as well. Alright, that's no problem. Okay, they're all tier 8s, but there's only 3 of them. I mean, we're a KV-5 platoon, and we've got a bunch of other tanks with us. An LTTB, there's the Leopard. Okay, it's just a Leopard, but the SU-101's here too. Not a problem. We can handle this. So we're going to get up there, we're going to get around that corner, we're going to kill the Centurion, then we're going to deal with the 2 tier 8 heavies, and we're going to sweep through and roll up the flank. That's the plan. We're in a KV-5 platoon. We can do this. Keep going forward, get a shot at the frontal hull of the 110, bounces return shot. IS-3 looks like it hits my little R2-D2 machine gun turret, but it's alright, got plenty of health. Come around the rock, we keep rolling forward, finish off the Centurion, then it's the 110, then the IS-3, and then we're home with a clear sweep on the enemy cap circle. The Centurion goes up in a ball of flame. More shots into the 110. Oh, hang on. Oh, actually, that's no, that is not good. Ferdinand, Tiger P, ISU 152. Yeah, plan B, fall back. But the team are having none of it. Look at this. And you absolutely have to back them up. If they're going to do this, you cannot sit back and watch them die. And this was absolutely glorious. Artillery decapitates the Ferdinand. The IS-3 doesn't know whether to shit or go blind. The 110's next. Look at that. Oh, this was amazing. This team were fantastic. And the enemy are completely panicking. They just don't know how to handle this. The Tiger P's desperately trying to fall back. Artillery's firing and missing, which is always nice. Jagd Panther up by the farmhouse on the far side of the hill over there. He's just bounced every shot he's fired at me. The ISU 152, which was our biggest concern, as actually, if he'd stayed back where he was, he might have been able to kill some tanks, but instead he moved forward into the low ground. Only now he's able to start shooting, and he misses. Oh, this was just amazing. And how many tanks have we lost? I'll tell you, none. Look at the LTTB go. We didn't even lose the LTTB. This was just Oh, it was fantastic. This team was great. We didn't lose a single tank coming around that corner. And we had what? A Centurion, an ISU, a Jagdpanther, a Tiger P, an IS-3, a 110, and the enemy artillery shooting at us. And we didn't lose a single tank. It was absolutely incredible. This, for me, was the best game of the night. And I didn't do particularly well, but this game was amazing. Such fun. Deep red players will surprise you. Rely on it. This team was fantastic. And the whole thing swung on that one moment when we were pushing forward against the 110, the IS-3 and the Centurion, and then we spotted the Tiger P and the Ferdinand and the ISU-152 behind them, and the three guys in the big tough tier 8 heavy tanks said, screw that, we're pulling back, and all the little guys are the ones that surge forward. And it's at that point where the game was made or broken. If we had held back, they would have all died and we would have been next. It doesn't matter if your team are doing the wrong thing. As long as you all do the wrong thing together, it will generally work out quite well. And there's the evidence right in front of you. Deep red players can and will surprise you. You can count on it. Doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, the results are amazing. And it wasn't just the battle on the corner there. At this point, there are only 2 enemy tanks left alive. I mean, we've got this. We've totally got this. But the 2 enemy tanks are all the way at the other side of the map. In circumstances like this, and I know I'm constantly going on about capping as just farming loser points, with the remaining enemy tanks so far away, and having just fought a battle like that, I have absolutely no problems whatsoever with anybody who thinks, you know, screw it, I'm never going to get there, I'm just going to take the capture points. So, you know, while we're perfectly at liberty to ask the guys in the cap circle to move out to give the guys who do have a chance of getting some more kills the opportunity to actually get some more kills, you certainly can't hold it against them if in these circumstances they say no. And yet, move out of the cap circle is exactly what they did, and because of that, the T-37 was able to get the last 2 kills. What a bunch of rock stars. Final replay of today's video is the STA-1. It's the Japanese Tier 8 medium tank, and unfortunately this matchmaking is pretty brutal. This is not the kind of matchmaking you want to see when you're driving a medium tank that has 70mm of armour at the best, and that's the turret front of this thing. I do like the STA-1. I do think it's a good tank, even though it's a bit of a mixed bag. It's mobile, it's manoeuvrable, the gun is pretty good. It has fantastic gun depression, 10 degrees of gun depression. Unfortunately, you can't really hold down and shoot at tanks lower than you in a machine like this in the same way you can machines that actually have some armour, because with 70mm of turret armour, you're going to get penetrated. And you cannot side scrape in this tank, at all. It only has 35mm of side hull armour. Tier 5 tanks will partially overmatch the side armour of this tank. 105mm caliber guns or better will completely overmatch the side armour of this tank. You cannot side scrape in the STA-1, and that is a lesson that it's taking me an awful long time to learn. As you're going to see at one point in this game, where I try to side scrape against an IS-7's 130mm gun. It doesn't end too well. However, at the moment, we don't quite realise the kind of shit that we're in. There's a Walker Bulldog up there who's having his wicked way with a Bat Chat quite successfully, and the Bat Chat is making a complete dog's dinner of doing anything about it. This Bat Chat, well, he wasn't having a very good game. Let's just put it that way. Yep, he's just taken another hit, and now, to be fair to him, he probably doesn't know I'm right behind him, and I can see the Walker Bulldog is coming out to get him as he's reloading, and he almost manages to screw up my attempts to save him and keep him in the game, but very narrowly avoided hitting his gun and watching the Walker Bulldog finish him off. But I managed to kill the Walker Bulldog. I've kept the Bat Chat in the game. He's now safe, he can reload. Now I don't want to get too carried away because I'm only in an STA-1 and this is a tier 10 match. And they've got an IS-8, an IS-7 and a Jag Tiger. I'll do what I can, but what happens up here is going to depend on how that T110E5 plays and what that Bat Chat does once he's reloaded. And luckily, the T110E5 was pretty good. Well, he was very good. The Bat Chat, on the other hand, not so much. IS-7's coming around the corner after him, and I'm going to I mean, the IS-7's on low health, and I'm aiming at the corner, and the Batchat is doing it again, and... No, sorry. Just, once again, you know, the Batchat driver is not necessarily aware that I'm right there behind him. He's worried about the IS-7 that's coming around the corner in front of him. But he didn't make it easy for me to help him out. And did I mention that the STA-1 cannot side scrape? Look at this. Look at that angle. Any other tank, that shot would have bounced. Not in the STA-1. And I will learn. I'll learn the hard way, or I'll learn the easy way, but I will learn that you cannot side scrape the STA-1 under any circumstances. It just does not have the armour for it. But that T110E5, backed up pretty much just by me and Quickie Baby in a pair of STA-1s, has had a fantastic game. He's actually going to go on to do 6,000 damage in this match. He really did play a blinder. And I'm never going to be able to do that kind of damage in a tier 10 game with a 90mm gun. I'm not saying you can't do it, I'm saying I can't do it. But because I'm a tier 8 and I'm shooting exclusively at targets that are much, much more higher tier than I am, then, oh shit, the Death Star's pointing his gun right at me. I mean, why wouldn't you? There's a T110E5 in front of you and an STA-1 on top of the hill. Why wouldn't you shoot at the STA-1? Oh, man. But, yes, anyway. Bottom tier tanks in World of Tanks games. It doesn't matter whether you're a tier 8 in a tier 10 match. You could be a tier 5 in a tier 7 match. The point is, you're sitting there at the bottom of the team list. You get more experience and credits for doing the same amount of damage when you're bottom tier than you would if you were a top tier tank. That's the game's way of compensating you for being at the bottom of the feeding chain. So while I'm never going to do the same amount of damage, geez, that was close. Oh, that was me. That was my shot missing. And no, I have no idea where to shoot a Death Star. I really don't. But while I'm never going to do the same amount of damage as the T110E5, I could earn more experience than him for the damage that I do in a tier 10 game. Because pretty much everything that I'm shooting at is higher tier than me. And unfortunately, Quickie Baby, who was trying to fight off an E50 and a KV4 while I was pouring fire into that Death Star, he's just died. So, E50 and a KV4. On the plus side, the E50 thinks I'm still on top of the hill. And then he delays taking his shot, and I'm going to take damage, but I get to kill him, so that's nice. I'm moving up to get eyes on the KV4, not aware of the T110E5 coming up behind me, but he doesn't make any effort whatsoever to get out of my way either, and yeah, I figure we're about even there, so... Now, for some reason, I swear at the time, I thought I had more health than I did. I thought I can easily take a shot from a KV4. It turns out I can only just take a shot from a KV4. 18 health, and he's damaged my engine. Not good, not good. And I'm going to need my engine to circle this KV4. Miss my first shot, get around him, making him an easy shot, back of the turret, for the T110E5, and Quickie Baby's yelling, watch out behind you, and oh crap, it is a good job I repaired my engine. T49 tried to ram me, and he would have killed me. I was on 18 health. Hit me in the side, 35mm of armour. Even a light tank like the T49 can ram you to death. So hooray for repair kits, and hooray for dead platoon mates watching your back and warning you when there's a T49 about to do a flying kamikaze suicide into you. And that wasn't just my 4th kill in a tier 10 game, which I was very happy with. But it was also the, I forget the name of the medal, but it's the one that you get for killing every American tank in the game. That's the first time I've killed a T49, so... Oh, and the Walker Bulldog as well. I'd never killed one of those before. So those 2 kills basically got me the Technical Expert USA. That's the medal, for killing every American tank in the game. So while I'm chasing down the T62A, but I'm going to be lucky to catch him because he's all the way over on the other side of the map, let's talk about the giveaway. This is, after all, my first 300,000 subscriber giveaway video. I've got 10 £15 Amazon gift vouchers to give away. And in order to win, all you have to do is visit the webpage that's in the video description, or you can check the link on my Facebook page. Details are also there. Just enter your name and your email address, and 10 winners will be randomly selected to win an Amazon gift voucher. And this is just the first of the giveaways that I'm doing. There's plenty more to come. I've got some Steam codes for free games to give away. I'm going to a military collector's fair this Sunday in order to find some prizes that I can give away from there. I've got some Girls and Panzer goodies to give away, and I'm probably also going to be doing a live stream at some point over the course of this next week as well. So all sorts of good things coming up, but for the moment, 10 lucky winners are going to get a £15 Amazon gift voucher to spend on whatever the hell they want. Details in the video description down below. Also on my Facebook page. Anyway, back to the game. Managed to survive in an STA1 in a tier 10 match, which is a hell of an achievement for me. And despite the fact that I only did 1600 damage in that game, because it was all against tanks that were higher tier than me, I earned more experience than the T110E5, who did more than 3 times my damage. There's still everything to play for, and doesn't matter where you're on the team list. You just have to be very, very careful. Look at that, 3 hits taken, left me on 18 health. There is very, very little margin for error when you're driving a bottom tier tank. But stay in the game, keep your gun firing, stay safe. And you do get compensated for it. Well, that's it for today's video. Thank you for subscribing, all 300,000 of you. And if you haven't subscribed, then thanks for watching the video, and I hope you found it entertaining. And don't forget, check out the link in the video description, and also on my Facebook page, for a chance of winning something back. My way of saying thank you to you all for subscribing. And if you're not a subscriber and you're just watching the videos, my way of saying thank you for watching the videos. Take care, folks. Big thank you to you all, and I'll catch you next time.